Hello and welcome, all friends and devotees of yoga, Buddhist meditation. Today is 25th of August 2015, Tuesday the 25th. As you can see, the weather is much better than yesterday. It's much brighter, much clearer than yesterday. Yesterday was extremely foggy, and because of the terrible foggy conditions, visibility was very low, and it was like dewy all day. It was really serious, where I was not able to really get good videos yesterday. As a matter of fact, I had to cancel my video completely. It didn't come out correctly. So today we are back to chapter 5. There are 7 chapters on this current text, Buddhism as an Education by the Grandmaster Ching Kong. Again, this work was originally established by Grandmaster Ching Kong. Grandmaster Ching Kong had to do a lot of research back into Buddhism to try to correct a lot of scholars' ideas, wrong ideas, that Buddhism is a world religion, which is not, because Buddhism is not a world religion. Buddhism is an institution. Buddhism is a discipline. It's a system of disciplines. It's just like a university. So Buddhism is just like a law, it's just like medicine, engineering. It's a field of study, and actually a system of fields of study, because there are several fields of study in Buddhism. It's not like Christianity, it's not like Islam, it's not like Hinduism. It has nothing to do with gods and deities. It just has to do with the Buddha was essentially a professor. Buddha means doctor, Buddha means Ph.D, something like that. It was a schooling system embraced by Chinese government, established in India by the Buddha and then embraced by Chinese government, together with Confucianism, which was another great school in those days, and Taoism. All these systems were really flourished in China about over 2,000 years ago, nearly 3,000 years ago actually. Buddhism has been around for about 2,600 years. So we're just trying to help to correct the wrong ideas that are spread around the world, that Buddhism is a world religion, is number 4, you have Christianity at number 1, you have Islam at number 2, you have Hinduism at number 3, and Buddhism at number 4. Wrong. You may have Christianity at number 1, you may have Islam at number 2, you may have Hinduism at number 3. Those are world religions. They have to do with gods. They have to do with deities. They have to do with worship of gods. Buddhism does not have to do with gods and deities and worships and devotion. The Buddha is just maybe seen as a professor of chemistry or biochemistry or genetic engineering. The Buddha may be seen as any professor, any scholar. The Buddha's target was suffering, how to remove suffering from humanity, so that humans may pass through this world, you and I may pass through this world without experiencing that terrible thing called suffering, that terrible thing called pain, which unfortunately we experience every day. Every day we feel pain. I feel pain on my foot, on my legs. I'm getting older. I'm almost 50. So this was Buddha's objective. The Buddha's objective was to extirpate, to eliminate, to eradicate suffering from humans, okay, from humanity, to remove suffering, to try to see if human beings can walk through life without having to pass through this terrible thing that is called pain and suffering. So this was his investigation. The Buddha had to take time. He had to gather very intelligent scholars of his time. They had to come together. They formed a school, and they really started looking very directly and very objectively at this terrible thing called suffering. So this is what we are looking at. If we may, let's quickly read through Master Ching Kong's work. Let's quickly read through his findings and try to deliberate, bring these things to discussion. This is our discussion forum. If you want to contact me, feel free to contact me, c.aburime@hotmail.com or colorcollege@hotmail.com. I will also advise you to rewind, go to my previous videos. There are websites attached to it. Go to my previous videos and you'll be able to contact me. Just if you have any comments, any questions, feel free, send me an email, c.aburime@hotmail.com. So going through the work for today, it says, a true practitioner will keep himself from being greedy, angry, ignorant, and arrogant towards others and his environment, I'm going through yesterday's work as well, because yesterday was foggy. The visibility was terrible, was very poor, and we could not do much. So I'm going to go through yesterday's work as well as today's, if I can. If one has any of the elements just mentioned, then he is neither sincere nor proper. Sincerity and proper thoughts and viewpoints are the basis for training the mind. A person with a pure mind and body will not become ill. We suffer from illnesses because our minds are filled with wandering thoughts and imaginary thoughts, negative thoughts, distracting thoughts, destructive thoughts as well, worries, anxiety that are derived from greed, anger, ignorance, and arrogance. As mentioned earlier, sincerity and proper thoughts and viewpoints are the basis for purifying one's mind. A purified mind leads to a purified body, and naturally, a person will become immune from illness. Thus, a realized practitioner would never get seriously ill. Moreover, if a person is determined to follow the path of Buddha, he or she will not die in the conventional manner. A conventional death means a person does not know exactly when they will leave this world, nor where they will go afterwards. On the other hand, true practitioners with confidence in themselves and in Amitabha Buddha, who cultivate in accordance with Buddhist teachings, will be capable of controlling both the time of leaving this world and of being born in the Western Pure Land, Western Paradise, Pure Land. This is neither unusual nor a fairy tale, but the simple truth, and can be achieved by cultivating the pure mind and vowing to reach the Western Pure Land. Therefore, one needs to understand how important it is to be free of worries, anxiety, or attachments. Terrible problem. Every Buddhist should maintain a pure mind and body at all times, treating everyone and everything with equality and composure. Only then will the family be in harmony, the society in unity, and the world at peace. No longer would we have feuds, conflict, or wars. We don't need them in our society, in our world. The peace and happiness which we all wish for today would no longer be a dream, but a reality. World peace can be achieved if we combine Confucianism and Buddhism into our educational system. These are the teachings from the research of Grandmaster Ching Kung. He's the pioneer, one of the real great pioneering scholars in this field of research, delving back into the time of the Buddha to try to bring us the reality of who Buddha is. We don't want to be confused. We don't want to be lied to. We don't want people to, the world over many thousands, don't forget, this is thousands and thousands of years. A long, long time ago. So over years, a lot of people have brought wrong theories, wrong ideas, and confused everything. We don't want lies. We don't want to be fed with lies. We want the truth. This is why we believe in Grandmaster Ching Kung's research. Grandmaster Ching Kung has taken the pain as a Chinese authority of Buddhism to really delve back into the days of the Buddha, to really reach directly to the Buddha and who the Buddha is, and brought us his findings. The Buddha is just a simple teacher with investigators, researchers, like scientists, investigating this terrible disease called suffering of humankind. Why do human beings suffer? This was the grand investigation of the Buddha. He targeted that particular virus, that particular disease called suffering. Spent the rest of his life investigating thoroughly suffering and try to find all possible medicines, all possible solutions to eradicate, extirpate that suffering completely from humanity. This was the Buddha's grand research. So go through this lecture, and if you have any comments, feel free to contact me. Namo Amitofo.